Disclaimer, Joss, Jules, and Nevermore are not professional therapists. They will be sharing their personal experiences and advice, but this is in no way a substitute for professional help. There is also a good chance of swearing, tears, and triggering conversations, so listener discretion is advised. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slaying Demons, a podcast about facing your fears in life and being the best version of yourself. I am your host, Jocelyn, and joining me right now is Jules, and Nevermore was here, but she just... Oh, there she is. She's back. Yay!
Nevermore is back. Yay! Sorry. As we started, I, looked over and I was like, the door is bolted twice. I'm like, Ben will never be able to get in the door. So I had to sneak away to make sure that he could get in. Because it's hot outside. I don't think he'd want to
The look on your face was like this moment of realization of what you had done. And as soon as Jocelyn goes, disclaimer! Oh.
It's like...
Sorry.
That is the epitome of our relationship, of our friendship.
Yeah. So we did not record last week. It was the 4th of July, and the week before that, we were at Nerdtacular. So that is what we were going to be talking about tonight. We were going to talk about any demons that we have that we may have either overcome or faced while at the conference. We had a great time. I know I got to spend a whole ton of time with Nevermore because we shared a room, so I got to see her quite a lot. Jules, I got to spend some time with you too, which was amazing. But I don't know about you guys. Did it absolutely fly by for you too? I felt like it flew by and I didn't see half the people I normally see.
Yes. It was really quick. And but I think it was that there were so many people that I was like, I want to see this person, I want to see this person, and then we blinked and it was over.
Yes.
And I was like, oh okay. All right. But
which was really weird because I know both Nevermore and we had the same length of trip, and we added a couple of days on, we got there on Tuesday and the conference started on Thursday, and then we left on Monday and the conference ended on Saturday. So we had a couple of days on either side, and it still felt too short.
It's nice. It was nice to be away. It was nice to be out of normal routine and that kind of thing. And I think that's kind of what it was, but we were all busy. In different things that we were doing, we were all busy. And so maybe that's kind of why.
Yeah, it could be. I know. So for me, feeling like I didn't actually get to see and spend a lot of time with people, I think may have been a little bit because for some reason, and I don't know if it's because it's something that's developing as I'm getting older or what, but I feel like my level of social anxiety now is way up here where it used to be kind of down here. I've never been an overly outgoing kind of a person. I don't generally like crowds. The whole idea of me going somewhere like a Nerdtacular or a BlizzCon where people recognize me and are excited to meet me and stuff is this weird Twilight Zone thing to me. So I don't love being the center of attention. That's not just my personality. So, yeah. But I feel like I used to be able to kind of deal with it and be run down, but still at least able to go out there and meet people and have conversations and see people that I knew from social media or, whatever the case may be. But for some reason this year, I couldn't do it for more than half an hour at a time. I just felt so overwhelmed, which is really weird because I was even feeling overwhelmed and anxious about meeting people the Spags or, Sam, Jane, and Randy and people that I consider to be friends that I talked to quite often. But even that, it was exhausting. And it was such a weird experience.
Yeah.
I think for you though, like because of everything you had going on before, like your Jocelyn tank was like, ew.
Agreed.
Where like even with people you love, like you don't have that to give them, like other than like maybe a hug and a hi. You know what I mean? Like you guys have so much on your plate that it was just a vacation for you. And like, yes, you're doing, you know, you're representing Angry Chicken and Camerson and Slaying Demons and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, you're a human. And you guys went through a lot of stress right before you got there. And you didn't feel good upon arrival, so...
Oh my god, yes. That's something else that, I mean, this throws back to, I don't even remember, probably like episode 17 or 18 or something, when Jules was talking about health issues and not necessarily wanting to go to the doctor. So I've mentioned a couple times on the show that I've had some sort of like stomach issue, and after a few more episodes, for a while I thought it was tied to stress, because you're right, I had an attack shortly after we put the offer in on the house, but I had another attack the first night that I was at Nerdtacular, just before Nevermore got there, and it's so bad that like, and like now I know a little bit better about the symptoms and how the attacks kind of happen, and then like how they progress and how long it takes to get over them. That I'm 99.9% sure now that I know that it's my gallbladder. So I kind of adjusted my diet over the course of the trip, and I made sure that I was basically eating vegetarian because like the triggers for the attacks are, you know, lots of sugar, red meat, you know, that kind of like just hard to digest meals, anything that's a really, really big meal. So I was eating, you know, like tiny little portions of things, and that helped. I didn't have any more attacks for the whole time, but I mean, that first night was so bad. I was like on the hotel room bathroom floor just before Nevermore got there, and I was like, I was throwing up so much. I was in so much pain. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't lie down. I couldn't sit down. Nothing made it feel better. And I was just like, if we hadn't been in the States, I would have been calling an ambulance and going to the hospital. But I was like, we're in the States, so we just bought a house. I can't go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So,
well, and like we got in really, really, really late because we drove like 10 something hours and we left late. So by the time we got there, like we knew they might be in bed, but like I'm picturing like previous years at BlizzCon, like we picked Joss up at the airport, we're like slow-mo running towards each other, so I'm like waiting for the door to open to like see Jocelyn. I'm so excited, and like Matt slowly opens the door and he's like, yeah. He's like,
Oh.
she doesn't feel good at all. And like we walked in and I was like, oh, Jocelyn.
I was like super like more pale than this, if you can even picture that, like super pale, laying in bed under the covers. And I was just like, all right, I've been puking for an hour. The pain's just starting to go away. So hi guys, but probably no hugs tonight. Sorry. Like I just felt so bad. So I had totally forgotten that even happened the first night.
Yeah.
And then Ben went on the epic adventure to go find you Gatorade, and like all the machines were sold out, so he finally had to go to the front desk to get one.
Oh yeah, that was really, really funny. Ben was a hero that night. Oh my god.
He loves you. He wants to make sure you stay alive.
Yeah, most definitely.
But to get back to your point though, Nevermore, I think you might be right, is that I just had so much other stuff going on, and the super awesome thing about Nerdtacular, but then also, you know, one of the, I guess, worst things about Nerdtacular is that we are all in one place, we're all at one resort, everyone knows everyone, which means that if I just want to go have dinner with Jules, that's really, really hard to do. And I think that might be part of why I wasn't even necessarily jumping at the chance to, like, at some points, leave the room. Because it's like, as soon as I walk out of the, you know, my little sanctuary place, which a few times during the week wasn't even a sanctuary place, like I walk into the room and there's like 20 people in there, and I'm like,
hey, that was once, and I was kind of waiting for them to leave too. I was like, hey guys, I have stuff to do, okay? Like,
yeah. You guys were like Grand Central Station for a while.
It was just kind of that one time for the most part. Like, it was mostly just us. And, like,
Yeah.
I think just them needing to be in the room, Ben and I are like, psh, like, we don't care. Like, we understand. Like, I would want to sit and just do nothing, too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
like, so to have that, like, just the time getting from, like, my room to wherever I was going, oftentimes I would be late for things or whatever because I just get stopped, you know, like the elevator doors open and then you have to say hi and have a conversation, and then you go down the elevator and then they come out and then you have to say hi and have a conversation, and you have 18 conversations by the time you get down to the restaurant. And then I'm just like, I sit down with Jules and I'm like, okay, I need to go back to my room. I need to recharge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a new feeling for me. I feel like in the past, I very much, like, I don't know, pushed through it, sucked it up, I don't know, something. But I had a lot of people, Scott included, being like, I feel like I haven't seen you at all this weekend. And I'm like, I know, I've definitely been hiding in my room more than I used to, or more than I have in the past. And so, yeah, Nevermore, your point about everything between the house purchase and everything else, and then the gallbladder attack on the Tuesday night, I think you're right. I might have just not had a lot left in the tank.
From country to country. Like,
travel actually was not that bad this time. We are, from now on, in any event we go to, flying direct. We flew direct from Toronto to Salt Lake City. It was an extra, like, $25 or something, and I was like,
worth it.
so worth it. We had a 4-hour flight, and we basically just, like, went through security, got on the plane, and then we were in Salt Lake City, and we didn't have to worry about any of other customs. We didn't have to worry about any connections. Like, I was so relaxed on the plane because I was like, even if we get delayed by 10 hours, it doesn't matter because I don't need to get another connection. Like, It was so much better. But yeah, between all the house stuff and everything that was going on the week before, and trying to record and post and do everything I had to do before we left on top of all the house things, and then with the attack, I think, yeah, it was... I didn't have a lot left at the start of the con, and I think that was probably part of the problem. But I also think part of the problem, and I loved having him there so much, but I really think having Matt there was definitely kind of a crutch for me, because, like, the thing about Matt, and if anyone has met him and if anyone has seen us together, I fucking love that guy so much. We have so much fun together. I don't ever feel the need to be away from him. I don't ever feel the need to have any kind of space. Like, what I want to do is usually what he wants to do, and what he wants to do is usually what I want to do. And, you know, so, like, I didn't feel like I needed to get away or branch out. Like, he was my social circle, and he was, like, my safe space away from my room. Like, he was my oasis. If I didn't want to talk to other people, I could have a conversation with him. And then a lot of times I feel like because he is my significant other, people would see me talking to him and be like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't interrupt that conversation because it might be, you know, important or private or whatever. There's, like, I feel like people are much more likely to interrupt a conversation that they see between friends as opposed to a conversation that they see between, like, family members. So he was, like, he was everything. He is everything, but he was everything for me. So I feel like that was also a little bit of a crutch to have him there, because then it's like, if I'm like, I kind of just want to stay in the room and watch this Game of Thrones marathon, and he's like,
that was another
that's
terrible
amazing.
thing. Game of Thrones started from season 1, episode 1, and just kept going. So, like, we all literally had to turn the TV off after an episode if we wanted to accomplish or go anywhere.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna throw on the TV as, like, background noise. Oh wait, Game of Thrones is on. I haven't seen this episode in years. It's my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that that probably contributed, and it's not a bad thing. I am super lucky that I have a person like that in my life. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. This is very much like, oh, Joss, we feel so bad for you with your, like, super happy, perfect relationship. Like, boo-hoo. But
it's really cute, you guys. For, like, rooming with them multiple times, it's really cute.
It's pretty awesome. Like, you know, and I think the introvert thing where your energy is spent by interacting with people, you know, if you go into something like this not feeling like you're fully into it, like totally like I am dying to talk to a bazillion people, then it can be really tough, you know? I had the opposite thing of that, of when I got home, I was so fucking tired. Like the whole week last week, I felt like everything was a chore. Like every brain thing I had to do.
Every brain thing, thinking with stuff problems.
Right? I was just like, and I'm like, I don't want to do any work. I have to work, but I don't want to do any work. And I just want to sleep all day because I'm fucking tired. And it's just like, but I spent it all there. Like, I know I did. And that's what happens, you know,
we made you work. We made Jules make
You gotta
that
work,
money.
bitch.
Nobody made me work. I just realized something else in this whole process is that I don't know how to relax. I don't know how to shut down because, and that was the thing. Like, I was just like, either I'm tired and I don't want to work and I'm just like, or I'm like, go, girl, let's go, you know, like work hard and get it done. And so I'm worried I may have reprogrammed my brain to be like a constant. And it's, maybe it's
eating dinner at 6 now, guys.
right. I think I did tonight.
Totally off kilter.
I think I did tonight. Now that you mentioned that. So yeah, I mean, it was the opposite thing. I was just super, super, super tired, but kept pushing through, you know, kept pushing through. And, but it was a good kind of tired because it was a different experience that I normally had where I was working at a con, but I was doing something that was, you know, crafting versus, you know, I was still interacting with a ton of people, but in a different capacity. And it was just like, it was kind of addicting. I'm like, I got to keep going. I can't stop. There's people who want more stuff. And I'd put stuff on the table. I'd make stuff and I'd lay it down and they'd sell. And I'm like, got to make more stuff.
And she's like, I think I'm done for today. And then she sells stuff. She's like, I guess I could make more of this. And I'm like, exactly.
They were totally making fun of me for like, yeah, you're not done. Yeah.
Because if anybody missed previous episodes, Jules and I both vended at Nerdtacular for the 2 days that were the actual con. Like, we were there before and after extra days, but we had a table where we shared space. So we were busy the majority of the day from like 9 till 6 or whatever. That was our vending time. So
it was great though, because I got to spend so much time with Nevermore, and that was awesome.
Until I had to go up to the room because I needed to recharge because I felt really sick.
Yep. That's the thing though, and then you got, you know, all the stuff on top of that, and altitude changes, which are real. They're,
you know, coming from a valley and a desert.
And I felt it the day after we got there, and I felt it the day after I got home. So yeah. But Nerdtacular for me, I think the only thing that I'm still trying to work on is that I tend to be the center of a lot of what people. I tend to be the person that everybody comes to make plans for like meals and things like that.
Left me out.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
And that is the thing that I wanted to actually talk about. Because I had someone come up to me on one of those nights and say, we want to go to the steak pit for dinner. And I'm like, okay. And then who wants to go? And then they start naming names. And then there's people who are coming, what are we doing for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know. I think we're doing this. And then there's more people that come by and say, what are we doing for dinner? And they're asking me. So I send someone, I think it was Eric. I sent Eric to go call for a reservation. And I said, I can't go do this. Could you do this? And he's like, yes. And they tell me 12 maximum. That's the only amount of people maximum they could accommodate. And I'm like, shit. Because that's what happens, is that somebody's going to get left out. It's like this first come, first serve thing. And then it happened to me like 2 or 3 times where we had like a huge group, and then I'm like, and someone just sends me a message like, as we're about to go there, it says, what are we doing for dinner? And I'm like, and I feel terrible.
And that is one issue I find with that specific venue, is that they are a kind of ski resort. They're a getaway. They're not necessarily built for conferences necessarily, unless you're doing some like big catered like buffet style type dinner. I'm sure they do that very, very well, because every time they set up for, you know, the board game night at the end of the con, they turn that room over and put those wedding tables out like that. So I am sure that they can do like buffet style catered dinners very, very well. But in terms of like having a conference there for the weekend, just relying on their restaurants, they are not good at big groups. Anything over about 6
turning
is
over. Like they're not like Chili's where it's like get tables in and out. You're only there to eat for 30 minutes. It's like people want to sit, and it's like because you're paying more for the food, like it's an atmosphere. You have this gorgeous like view, almost at any restaurant, and you're sitting there having and spending quality time with people. So they're not trying to force you out, which is also part of it too, is it doesn't turn over. But if there was an issue, like I would have said something a long time ago, and we know that that's how it is. So like, and plus I can't afford the freaking steak place. Like we could have, but I was like, that's a little much for our budget. So it kind of worked out well. I mean, like if there was room, we would go to spend time with you guys. Like that to me, value wise, is worth paying for it. But we totally understand.
I've also got to say, like, I am 99% sure that the prices at that place went up, if not double, at least an extra 10 to 15 bucks a plate when they apparently Snowbird was sold to a new owner. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I had gone to, usually I do it once a trip, is go down to the steak pit. They have really, really good food, but it's a little more pricey. And if it had been anyone other than you, Jules, I would have just been like, you know what? Thanks, guys, but we're going to go find somewhere else to eat, because it was almost 50 bucks a plate. 50 bucks American a plate.
Yeah,
which is
and
a lot.
It surprised me too, because I remembered it not being that expensive the last time we went.
I remember it being like 25 or 30 bucks a plate, and I was kind of like, you know, that's doable. And then I sat down, and of course, Matt and I, again, just coming off putting the offer in on the house, and we kind of sat down, and I looked at the menu, and I looked at him, and I went, it's Jules. This is our one. Everybody gets one.
I know. And it just, so there was just things like that just were difficult. You know, it was like this spending extra money, you know, and that kind of thing. And I don't know. So I think that's the hardest thing. And it happens at BlizzCon too. It happens.
I feel like BlizzCon is way more, it's over. Like, it's constant, like, go, like, you don't, even though it's still a vacation, like, it doesn't feel as much like a vacation as Nerdtacular just did. Like, it just feels like you're constantly, especially for you, Jules, where you're running an event, like, I don't even know how you do that. Like, to me, it just feels overwhelming already, so.
Yeah,
well, and that's kind
of my thing. Coffee.
I never ever feel like any of these conventions are actually vacations. I'm always recording at least one podcast. Usually in previous years, I've been on additional panels. This year, I did the All-Stars and the opening panel. And at BlizzCon, we always have not only a live Angry Chicken, but then we usually have the Con Before the Storm that we do. Plus, we have our meetup that I organize. And then on top of all of that, we have the actual Hearthstone coverage. And you know, coming up this year, I'll have the Warcraft coverage too, because we're doing For Azeroth now too. So, you know, there is no actual vacation in those vacations. I'm actually next week, there won't be a show, because I'm actually going to be up at my cottage with no internet. And I'm going for a whole week. And it's the first time I've had a vacation pretty much since I went to Europe in 2011. So, because, like I these things are not vacations to me. They are kind of started out probably maybe the first year of Nerdtacular, before like when we were when I met you, Jules, was actually probably the last. So 2012, June of 2012 was probably the last like vacation. And it's a lot of work. It's hard. It's exhausting. And going into it being already exhausted was a mistake. An unavoidable one, but that's probably why I was so tired this whole time.
It makes sense though. And you know what? There's no need to apologize for that. You still met with people, you took pictures, you signed things. People had a great experience playing games with you. It's, you are entitled to have some time where it's just, you and Matt hanging out watching Game of Thrones in the hotel room.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And speaking of pictures, because this has been a huge demon for me pretty much since CreateCon last year, and it's been something that we've talked about on the show quite a lot. I made really big life changes in order to make it so that I liked myself in pictures, and I am quite happy with the majority of pictures coming out of Nerdtacular, which by the time I actually went to Nerdtacular, I was down almost 20 pounds from CreateCon. So, yeah, really, really big, awesome changes. My shorts don't fit anymore. They're too big, which is awkward for walking around the house because I'll be walking around and all of a sudden I'm like, my underwear is hanging out. Sorry, Leanne. But it's too hot right now for me to wear pants. So I'm pretty happy with that. There's still like kind of a lot of weight to go, but I let myself kind of eat whatever I wanted on vacation, although eating whatever I wanted was then kind of thwarted by the stomach issues. But since I've been back, I've been just eating whatever I wanted and gone back up a couple pounds.
Should I have bananas?
I hate bananas.
That was so funny.
Yeah, so we went out for pancakes on like the first morning we were all there together. And one of the things I'm supposed to have is like high fiber, whole wheats, fruits, and vegetables, really, really good. So I'm looking at the menu at IHOP and everything is like birthday cake pancakes. Like,
that's what we both wanted to order it first.
And so I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, oh, all of these things sound so good, but I should probably just have banana pancakes because bananas are good for me. And then so I'm sitting there all sad at the pancake place thinking I have to have bananas. And I just look up at Nevermore and go, I'm going to have banana pancakes. I hate bananas. And she's like, why are you having bananas then?
Yeah.
Because my stomach told me to.
I'm listening to my stomach. God damn it.
But yeah, so I think I'm gonna, obviously with us, having this big, huge purchase that I've mentioned like 18,000 times tonight, we are very closely watching our money and stuff. So we're going to be continuing to cook at home and continue to cook well. And I've had, since we came back, like I had a chocolate bar and I had a couple of bags. I had like Sour Patch Kids and I had Swedish berries and I was like, I don't even care, sugar, blah. And then I was like, this stuff doesn't taste as great anymore and I'm not actually enjoying this experience. So I'm kind of fine without all of the sugar. So I think I'm just going to stick on the low sugar diet and, it's nice to have the wine back, though. And I have to drink wine for my health because the acidity of red wine helps break down gallstones. So I have to drink wine for my health. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I think the changes that I made were drastic at the time, but I think are going to be much better for me overall. And I'm looking forward to continuing to actually enjoy the pictures of myself because, like I said, there are quite a few that I'm really happy with. Like after CreateCon, every single picture that was posted, whether it was me up on a panel or if it was me with fans or whatever the case may be, I looked at it and I'm like, remove tag. I hate this. I look disgusting. I'm not happy. And then every single picture that came in, with the exception of the producer photo. Okay, guys.
Oh, the producer photo.
Just... So let me give you a little bit of what was going on in my head when we were taking that photo. So there's a big, huge group photo of all the producers. I was standing next to Scott. It was awesome. And all I was thinking was all the things that I'd read back at Easter when Matt and I were doing family photos of like how not to look fat in pictures. And so it was like, never look straight at the camera, always be a little bit to the side and, keep your back straight, but don't push your boobs out too much. And, so it's very much, I was trying to kind of like not be square onto the camera and trying to turn a little bit. And then the couch was behind me. So I was like, oh, I'll put my arm on the couch behind me. And then that will remind me to not have my shoulders square at the camera. So I had my hand on the couch behind me. And if you look in the picture, it looks like I'm grabbing Scott's ass.
It totally looks like you're
like
his ass.
Not even like it. Yeah, I swear to God, I am not. But yeah,
and the internet saw
Sure.
this.
Yes.
And that was pretty damn funny.
And Randy Jordan was standing right behind me, so he was supposed to be my alibi. And then the first comment he makes is, "Joss, looks like you're grabbing Scott's ass." I was like, "No, Randy, you can see."
He doesn't make things better. If it's
No.
inappropriate, it's gone. He's going with it.
Yeah, so
Well,
moral of the story,
the
be
joke.
yourself. Don't pay attention to how not to be fat in photographs like the internet tells you. Just be yourself, because there's lots of other photos where I wasn't thinking about it, and I don't look like I'm grabbing any ass. So... Oh, God, it's so bad.
But you know what, though? You looked fantastic. You did. You looked so beautiful at Nerdtacular, and you could tell that you were happier, more comfortable in your own skin, and it
Aw,
really
thanks,
showed.
Jules.
And, you know, that is, I think, that's been a demon that has come up many times on this show, and I'm so happy that you came back saying, I feel good about how I looked in those photos.
Yeah, it was, I think it's a really big deal because it's been quite a long time since I've, I guess, noticed a positive change. Because, I mean, like, so I got really, really sick back in 2011 and I lost a whole lot of weight. I got down to like 155. And that was the lightest I'd been since I was like competitively playing varsity volleyball. And so ever since then, it's just kind of like I gained weight back up to what would be my kind of normal weight, which is probably around 160, 165. And I got back to there, and then I just kind of kept going, and it just crept up and up and up. So ever since then, I have like pictures of me from 2011 where I look sick. And then I have pictures of me, you know, gaining weight slowly over the period of the next 5 years. And so every set of pictures from every event is Jocelyn getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. And so me looking at the pictures, I've been going, oh my God, like these pictures are terrible. And then the next set of pictures, oh my God, these pictures are terrible. And I've been doing that for 5 years. So it's a really big switch for me to look at a set of pictures and go, oh, I actually kind of like that one. And I'm going to make this my profile picture. And I'm going to, you know, like actually retweet this and share this with people. And it's been a really long time since I've been able to actually have that positive reaction and be wanting to share images of myself and things going on in my life because I've been so self-conscious of how I've looked in pictures. So it was a really big mental shift for me this time, which, it was a really, really good experience. So what about you
Nevermore,
guys?
Yeah, Nevermore. How was the sales portion of it for you this year?
My sales were actually really good. I didn't sell as many of my bows, which is good because the ones I did while we were streaming, I didn't even finish. And I just got to a point where I needed to stop doing them anyway. But like my new stuff, like my earrings, I have new geeky earrings that were selling really well. It was that and like a whole bunch of random stuff that I didn't think would sell. Like I really focused on a lot of the bows and stuff. Wonder Woman bows gone like instantly. Yep. Like
those Wonder Woman bows were so amazing, and I think that was an idea from someone on the stream, right?
It was Thought Fortress, and he was at Nerdtacular too, and I ran out of them. But I told him I'm going to make one for his daughter so that she gets one. So,
yeah, and you owe me a companion cube.
yes, I do, and I owe Marcona. And he bought stuff like last minute, like as we were trying to like finish packing everything up. So I have a whole little to-do list of stuff. So that's going to be starting. Probably I need to stream soon because I have another show coming up at the beginning of August. But yeah,
we should stream on Friday because Friday is my birthday and I need to do a set of birthday fingernails. So we should stream on Friday.
Ooh.
It depends when, because Ben has art.
Right.
And I get off work at a weird time. So maybe if it was early enough before that, we could do that. Like if I come straight home. But anyway.
Yeah, that's planning for another time. Yeah. No. But overall, you had a positive vending experience, though?
Yes. Nerdtacular was the first time I ever vended. I forget what year it is. The last year it was at Noah's. Was that?
That was 2012, yeah.
2012,
okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever vended. I have to find those pictures somewhere so I can share them in the chat room. But it was like I had 2 tables and an L, but I had everything really spread out because I didn't have a ton of stuff. But I don't know. There was only like maybe 8 to 10 vendors. One of them was remember there used to be Scott used to promote some sort of pill for energy or whatever, like forever ago. That guy was there. There were some girls selling buttons.
I remember
so
that. There was also there was a chef guy there too, right?
I don't remember a chef guy.
I remember a chef guy who was like, I can't remember exactly what he was doing or selling, but
I don't remember this.
Maybe it was just some random chef guy who came up to me. Yeah, I'm totally with the con. What do you mean?
What was he trying to sell you?
I feel like it was like HelloFresh, but not like HelloFresh, but it was that sort of idea, like of the meals delivered to your door sort of thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Back then already.
Yeah.
Huh? No, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I remember the caffeine pills though. I remember those.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, I want, like, Ben asked if I was gonna do it or if I just wanted to enjoy the con. And the thing is like, while I love Scott Johnson and Randy Deluxe and all these people who are all the podcasters I listen to no one's shows, you guys. I don't listen to TTT. I don't listen to Jocelyn shows. Like Ben does Azeroth Roundtable. I don't listen to anything like at all. I'll pop into a channel and say hi and listen for a bit. Or if TTT has something really going on, like the anxiety episode, I'll try to stay as long as I can. I just don't. It's just, I don't put it on my phone. I don't listen to it on the computer. So for me, I don't go to like sit and listen to the panels because plus it's weird because we know them in a different way because like Scott and Randy raid with us sometimes. So it's like, to me, I talk to them a lot. Like I gave Brian a present, but I was like, I don't want to take up your time because there's like a million people waiting to talk to you. But hi, like, I didn't want to like waste their time, but
you're not a waste of time.
I know, but and like Brian said that too. He's like, you can always come talk to me. I'm like, yeah, but there's like a herd of people like waiting to like say something to you, and like they paid a lot of money to come here, and I talked to you like a week at least, so it's okay. So I don't know.
I had to pin Scott down just to get a picture with him because he was so busy, and but we get a picture together every year. It's a tradition, and so I finally caught him at like 10:30 on Saturday night. I'm like, you are not going anywhere. We are getting a picture right now because he had evaded me a couple of times because he had to go. He got pulled away for something. But it is a very, it's like they are so torn. I totally understand why you're like, no. I go do your thing. I'm here, and I totally get to talk to you whenever. So, yeah.
But I think you feel like in this instance versus not the show, the instance, just like in this event versus like BlizzCon, do you feel like the interaction is a little more like you see kind of these people kind of more talking in the communities versus like BlizzCon where people are just like, I listen to your show all the time and like want to say hi and stuff? Like, do you feel like you at least know people a little bit more at this event versus there?
Oh yeah,
for sure. Yeah, because I mean, this event is so small, and that's kind of what made it so great is that 90% of the people there, and even if you don't know them, there's a good chance that either they know you or you know someone in common or you share a show or, there's just so much common ground at an event like this. At BlizzCon, it's so big. It's just
but
so,
they're not
so
the
big.
Overstep the boundaries people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, you wind up seeing the same people year after year. And when there are new people that come to Nerdtacular, it's like there's fewer of those than people that you recognize from the years past.
Mm-hmm.
And BlizzCon, man, I'm like, who are you? I've never seen you in my life.
Yeah.
Like, somebody walked up to me while we were setting up the tables, and they're like, will you sign this? And I was like, why? And Jules is like, they want you to sign it. I was like, but I don't understand. Like, my
Isn't that
didn't,
weird?
Like,
the first time,
yeah,
the first time someone says, "Can you please sign this for me?" You're like,
Me?
what? Okay.
I think that it was 8-Bit Adventures. I think he said his name was, and I think he listens to the podcast later.
Yeah.
I don't think live, but It was just very nice. Like, I felt very included. That's the one thing I signed. Don't like, I'm not getting like this big ass head about like my self-esteem or whatever, but it was just kind of exciting. Like, and like there was also the girl who listened that we talked to at the meetup and then also came by the booth.
Brittany.
Mhm.
Brittany. Yeah,
She
you
was
gave her
so sweet. Like, it was just very surreal to me. Like, I still just I don't know. I can't explain it. It's the
I
weirdest
agree.
feeling.
It was so amazing to meet her. She was just the absolute best. And I said that to a few different people because I had a couple of people come up to me and say they're Slaying Demons fans, and a couple of people come up to me and say that they are Gamers Inn fans, and I even had somebody come up and say, I started listening to you on the Gamers Inn, and that's how I found Frog Pants. I was like, are you insane? That's like 18,000 times backwards.
right? I've had people tell me that they found Jocelyn through me, and I'm like, what the what? Like, how is that possible? Which I think is amazing. But what is so cool is that we were able to be at this event together and not be like we were at BlizzCon together last year doing Slaying Demons, but we had literally maybe time for like 5 minutes together, all three of us in the same space, because the most time we were all together was at the CTR party, and I'm a fucking tornado there, so you can't even like stop me because everybody needs something and it's awesome. But it, this was time where people could actually see the three of us together.
Well, and I was glad that you asked. Was it you who said, let's take a picture right now? Like, it was like the perfect, like the lighting, the day was like getting dark, and like we were outside on a patio with like the mountains behind us. It was like the perfect time to grab a picture, because if we hadn't done it then, we probably wouldn't have had it for the rest of the weekend. Mm-hmm. That's what always happens, is we get so busy that it just, we're together but not.
Yeah.
Yes. I got the best tackle hug from these two, though. Oh my God. When I arrived and went to their room, Jocelyn flew out of the room and attacked me with the biggest hug ever. And it was the best. And you know what? And it was just, I was exhausted. I had been traveling since 4:00 in the morning. I was so tired, but I couldn't even nap because my friends were there and I needed to go see them.
So she came.
I tried.
But so Joss ran and grabbed her, so I ran and grabbed her too. And we're all three hugging and so excited. And all of a sudden we feel the door shut behind us. And locked us out of the room in the hallway while we were having our three-way hug.
Yeah.
That was great.
And we're like, we start laughing, and then, no, come on, Mia.
So yeah, I think overall we had a very good time, a very positive experience. Thanks so much to everybody who came up and said hi to us. Thanks so much to Scott, obviously, for putting this together. Unfortunately, it is the last one, so we don't really know 100% what the plans are going forward. But the three of us will be at BlizzCon this year, so if you guys are thinking, oh my God, where am I going to see my favorite Slaying Demons hosts ever together ever again? BlizzCon is the
stuff for you. Just
She'll even sign your boob.
True story.
Sign boobs. If people came up and asked me to sign them, I would totally sign boobs.
I know you would, which is why I put it out there.
I tweeted the picture of us, Jocelyn, from the earlier one, the earlier Nerdtacular, to celebrate Canada Day. I wanted to retweet it, and I forgot.
I couldn't find it. That's a good picture, though. It's
I have
hilarious.
it.
Classic picture. I was present for that picture.
I'll retweet it later and I'll put it in chat.
Yep.
Yeah, that
for Canada Day because I was all excited.
And if you guys don't know what they're talking about, there is a picture of Jocelyn wearing a beret and a tank top with the maple leafs on. Is it one maple leaf or numerous?
It's the Canada flag. Yeah, right across my boobs.
Canada flag. Right across her boob.
Just a big one? I thought it was two, like on the.
Because it's pasty.
It's not that bad, Nevermore. I don't have little maple leaf pasties.
But the picture is Nevermore with her mouth open towards Jocelyn's boob and Jocelyn with her boobs stuck out. It is the funniest picture. And I was there at that table. I saw them take that picture. And that was before we were all close as friends, but it was like we knew each other and we knew each
other really well, but we weren't like we are.
Yeah. But that moment was one of the funniest things because she's like, I'm totally biting your boob, and she's like, yeah.
Well, it was because I feel like this was the Nerdtacular where Nevermore and I really cemented our friendship because we had plans to go have dinner. So Nevermore and Ben got there first. And then we were really excited to see each other. Nevermore was sitting down. I walked up behind Nevermore and I was like, oh my God, Nevermore. Like I was going to give her a hug and she stood up like mouth open like, hi, right into my boob. That's where, and then so she kind of stood up and we both kind of looked at each other and she's like, I just ate your boob. And I was like, yep.
I actually did not know this story.
Yeah, so that's where the biting the boob picture came from. That was the end of that Nerdtacular where it was Canada Day and I was wearing my Canada shirt and Nevermore's like, we have to immortalize the moment. And I was like, yeah, we do. Yeah, so that's that's the backstory to the boob biting picture.
People are probably really sad that we don't spend a lot more time. We get into too many inappropriate shenanigans.
Oh my God. Very, very true. So I think that pretty much wraps up our Nerdtacular experience. Jules, do you want to say anything else before we move on? Nevermore, I'm going to get to you. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. I was just going to throw it to you after Jules.
No, I think we kind of covered everything. Thanks to everyone who came up to say hello. Thank you for listening to Slaying Demons and telling us that you do. And we're really looking forward to seeing you guys at BlizzCon if you're coming. And we're looking forward to making more shows. I think that there's going to be a lot of stuff that's coming in the next couple of months for all of us that are going to require us to be like laying out those demons. So it's like, let's go. Let's do this. I'm excited.
What about you, Nevermore? Any final Nerdtacular thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I think we talked about the majority of things that happened. I guess.
Oh. You're happy
a
with
shout out to Nevermore too for giving me space on her craft display table. Without her, I wouldn't have had such success on doing that and really having a great time. And you better be watching your mail, by the way, this week because there's something coming for you.
No, you didn't. Ugh, you guys. Okay, I have to tell the story about the present. Okay, so I gave Joss and Jules both a present. Jules came to the room while I was in there working on a perler project because I did a commission and it took me forever. But Jules was sitting...
If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure Nevermore has retweeted all the pictures of it and stuff. It was a commission in perler beads. It was a 12 by 12 of Ralphie. If you guys know him, he's the guildmate who passed away last year. So Nevermore did a commission for Scott. So if you haven't seen it, it is amazing. Like, it is beautiful. So go check out Nevermore's Twitter and go see those pictures. But sorry, working on a commission.
That's okay. So, and also too, we're going to eventually hopefully do character pictures, like WoW character commissions. Yes. Jules told me I should start doing that. So once I make a sample, then I'll start putting out all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so I got both of them presents. So Jules and I were in the room together alone, and I was like, here, this is for you. And she didn't know, right? So I gave it to her. She opened it. Yay, presents. So then Jocelyn's like, I had hers, but when we went to Target, because we always stop at Target before we go up the mountain to the ski resort, and while we were shopping, like, I don't know if she noticed it, like Matt was trying to hide it.
I did not at all.
Because I had to get a bag because I was giving Brian Ibbett Coverville stuff. So I had to get a bag for all that, whatever. So while we were doing gift bags, I was like, oh, I need something for Jocelyn's bag. So I got this one that has this bright pink unicorn, like, sparkly bag, right? So I hid it under all my stuff. I thought she saw it while we were checking out because I sent Ben in front of me to, like, distract you. That's why he was talking to you all weird near the, like, checkout lane. But anyway, so they left.
I was oblivious to all of this.
I don't remember why you guys were finally gone. It was I think it was after I was finishing the commission is when I wrapped yours and got it all put together. So anyway, I specifically, like, before I left, like, set it in front of the TV because I'm like, if it's in front of the TV, she'll notice the, like, bright pink unicorn bag. Jocelyn, tell everyone who you thought it was for.
Well, okay, so I didn't know who it was for, but I thought if it's sitting up on the TV table like that, the maid might think...
Oh my God.
I was like, the maid might think it's for her. So
you give to the maid service.
Well, no, wow. I worried she would take it.
Very like bright colored unicorn because I was like, she'll see it, it's fine. Like the card with her name was like inside it.
So then I moved it and I hid it under a sweater.
She like set it off to the side because she didn't want somebody to see.
Oh my god! And the morning,
And then Nevermore's
"Oh,
like,
I
"Did
left
you
it
get
out
your
the
present?"
chocolate." Oh,
I was like, "What
good
present?"
lord!
Yep.
Oh god. Anyway, I love you guys.
I love you too.
Oh god, I forgot about that. I can barely get the story out. I'm laughing so hard.
Freaking dorks!
Oh yeah, I'm like, I'm a
I
huge
love it.
dork. Spoiler alert. Oh my god.
That's so awesome.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that Jocelyn's an idiot story.
It's adorable.
Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. So I think that's a good story to use to wrap up our Nerdtacular experience. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. It was a really fun, really good episode. I'm getting mascara all over the place right now. Jules, where can folks find you on the internet?
You can find me at Jules RPG on Twitter, and you can find my other show at Tauren Think Tank on Twitch, and on Thursday nights at 8:00 Central. Yeah, it's kind of a show similar to this one, advice show for gamers with me and Mark Honan. So definitely check it out.
Perfect. And Nevermore, where can folks find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Quoted Nevermore. I also have Jules has an Etsy. I have an Etsy.
Yes, you
Jules has an Etsy.
do. And Nevermore and Joss and I do stream creative stuff occasionally. So, Nevermore, your Etsy is?
It's geekasylum.etsy.com.
Yes. Mine is chainofjules.etsy.com. And I am
Jules
open.
is actually open.
I'm open.
There's nothing in it yet.
We're getting you there.
Yeah. I don't have an Etsy. I'm just Joss Plays in all the places, including jossplays.com, where you guys can go to find episodes of this show, as well as links to everything that I do. If you'd like to send an email into the show, you can do so at demonspodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us at Demons Podcast on Twitter. And don't forget to join the Discord, because that's where we have kind of up-to-the-minute, super awesome type conversations. There's a lot of back and forth that goes on, and a lot of people are probably struggling with the same things you are struggling with. So if you want to join in the conversation, go to discord.gg/JossPlays. That's it. We're done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out this week. We will see you not next Tuesday. We will see you on the 25th. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll talk to you later.